Are you ready to be more productive? Are you ready to stop procrastinating? Then stay tuned because we're going to find a way to stop all of that and get more out of life. Well, hello, my good people. Welcome to another episode of Love and Happiness, the podcast. I am your host, Stephanie, and I am so glad that you tuned in. All right, well, let's get right to it. Okay, so one of my biggest things, one of the biggest things that I suffer with is procrastination. That means I'm always putting something off and saying I could do it later. Things don't get done, things pile up, then I'm overwhelmed. And I said, I know I am not the only one with this same issue. So I decided to help everybody out as I learned how to cope with it. So as I was searching the internet, one of the big things that I like to do is get a reference or get some type of knowledge from someone else because of course I don't know everything and it's always in a book. So the book that I'm promoting today is The One Thing and it's by Garry Keller. I first heard of Garry Keller from Keller Williams Realty. I used to be a realtor years ago. I worked at Keller Williams, which was a great opportunity. I learned a lot, and it had a great structure. So for me to find a book from the person that made that company that was so greatly structured, I already knew that this was going to be an amazing book. So one of the things that happens when you are procrastinating is you probably overwhelmed yourself. And in this book, Garry Keller talks about how when you make things small, it makes things easier. Now, I know that you have always heard, oh, go big or go home. Go big. Do everything big, 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 big. I live in Texas. Everything's big. But sometimes you have to go small. And in this book by Garry Keller, it's called The One Thing, he talks about going small. And what small means is choosing one thing and working on that. A lot of us call it focus, but the reason that he says going small is because you really want to hone in and have tunnel vision. Small down yourself, minimize yourself, and wrap yourself around that one thing. It's really important to know where you're going in life and what you want. So you need to focus on that one thing. One of the big things that he said was when I put the going small theory into practice, I could really see how it works. For instance, sometimes we focus on things. You focus on, for instance, your job, and you pile all these things, but you say, okay, they're for my job, but I have 50 million things to do for my job. You're still overwhelmed. Take it piece by piece, chunk by chunk, and make it small. Focus on that one activity and that one thing so that you can produce better results. It becomes overwhelming. And sometimes when you're overwhelmed, what happened is your mind can't think. It doesn't know where to start. It doesn't know the next thing to do. You get so overwhelmed that physically and mentally you get tired because you've overwhelmed yourself with all the thoughts. I need to schedule this. I need to do this. I need to do this. But if you do one thing at a time, make it so plain and so simple. Go ahead and do that one thing by making it small. You will succeed and you will conquer procrastination. Procrastination is more of knowing what's important. What's important? Rate your things, prioritize what's important. What is the most important thing that I need to do today? Because you're not putting off what's important because you know that you need to do it. So figure out what's important and then you will actually succeed. I know when I was in the sales world, I sold real estate. We had what was called income producing activities. Meaning, if it didn't put money in my pocket that day or eventually, I wasn't going to do it. So you have to think of activities that produce the results that you want. Go ahead and list the things out that you want and do the activities only that will produce great results for those activities. That's what being small is, or thinking small, or creating a small environment for your success is. instance, and I have it bad. Watching TV is not an income producing activity. I know the baby has a line in his song that says he's not rich enough to chill. I get it. I get it. It's not time to relax if you have some goals. There's so many hours in a day. 24. Everybody has the same. But when you make a plan, you can achieve whatever you wanted to achieve. A great question to ask is, what is the one thing that I could do that would make everything easier or even unnecessary? When you figure that one thing out, that'll make your whole day easier. If you could do one thing instead of doing 15, that means you've really honed in on what's important. That's the activity that you need to do more of to make better days and to get to your goals faster. So if you're interested, this book called The One Thing by Garry Keller is a great read. I have linked my Amazon link to it down below so that you can go ahead and get it and read it and make your life successful. Now, my next segment of my podcast, I always like to give you with some encouragement, not just from me, but from other people. Here's an interview with Fantasia by Oprah. It's great, and I hope it inspires you.
So I'm singing for every black woman who's been through something, who's been told that they're nothing, they will never be nothing, that they're ugly because of the color of their skin. I'm singing it for them. And I want them to walk out of the theater, and I want them to know that they are queens. And if it had not been for the women who came before us and paved the way, we wouldn't be here today. Thank you. And I want all the young women to know you can do this. You're beautiful just the way God made you. No matter what a man says, no matter what you've been through, that is your testimony. Use it. Don't let it break you. Use it.
Wasn't that awesome? So amazing. I absolutely love Fantasia and Oprah. I really hope that inspired you. Have a good day. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that I can come with more content to keep us motivated, because that's what we need nowadays. All right, signing off from Love and Happiness, it's Stephanie.